Okay, so good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
Okay, so before we start, let us all stand for a prayer. So read up and you read the prayer.
And the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Okay, so once again, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Okay, so how are you today?
We're fine. Good.
Okay, that's good to hear. So before you settle down, can you take the pieces of paper under your chair? Okay, thank you. So who can still remember our classroom rules? Yes, Arvida.
Respect your teacher and classmates. Listen when someone is speaking.
Okay, exactly. Our classroom rules are, please read everyone.
Respect your teacher and classmates. Listen when someone is speaking. Raise your hand to speak.
Okay, so is everything clear with our classroom rules?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so before we start, let me check your attendance first. Say present if your name is called and say absent on behalf of your classmates who isn't here. So Sarvida.
Present, teacher.
Amo.
Present, teacher.
Okay, so do we have an assignment?
Yes, teacher.
If yes, can we pass it in front without noise? Okay, so before we start our lesson, let's have an activity first. I will group you into two groups, and each group will receive a set of jumbled letters. All you need to do is to arrange the letters to form a word. So are you guys ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so I'll give you 3 minutes to arrange the words. Timer starts now. Okay, so are you done?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so what are the words that you formed from your jumbled letters?
New moon.
How about another one?
Boxing reason.
The other one.
First quarter moon, teacher.
Very good. How about another?
Waxing libos.
Another.
Full moon, teacher. And waning libos.
And those last two.
Last quarter, teacher.
And
Waning reason.
okay, so now what do you think of those letters?
It's about moon.
Okay, very good. It's all about moon. So do you have any idea what our lesson is for this morning?
It's
Yes.
about phases of the moon, teacher.
Okay, very good. Our topic for this morning is all about the phases of the moon, where in the end of the lesson, you are able to
Identify the characteristic of the different phases of the moon. Arrange the phases of the moon and tell the importance of the moon to mankind.
okay. So what did you see in this picture?
A moon, teacher. The stars.
Okay, very good. So in your own understanding, what is a moon? Yes?
The moon is a ball in the sky that changes shape.
Great. So any other ideas?
So the moon is help us to see at night.
Okay, so the moon is not a planet but a satellite. So, do you have any idea what a satellite?
Yes, teachers.
Yes, sir. Rita?
Satellite is like a special object that goes around something bigger like a planet on a star.
Okay, so satellite is an objects or objects that absorb light and produces shadow that orbits a planet. So the only natural satellite that the Earth has is the moon. It is huge. It is a huge object that circles the Earth and normally a fraction of its size. So, do you think that moon has its own light?
No, teacher.
Okay, very good. So the moon does not have its own light. So where do you think the moon got its light?
From the sun, teacher.
Okay, so the moon doesn't actually have its own light. It shines because it reflects sunlight. So can we read?
The moon itself does not produce its own light and it's not a light source. The reason the moon lights up at night is because it's actually the reflection of the sun. It means that
That the light from the sun
bounces off it back to Earth.
Okay, so do you understand where the moon got its light?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
Okay, very good. So imagine if the moon is like a giant mirror in the space and the sun shines on it. What do you think will happen to the moon?
The moon bounces the light back into the earth, teacher.
Okay, exactly. Then what happens if the moon bounces the light on Earth?
This is where we see the moon glowing in the night sky.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed. So, have you ever wondered why the presence of the moon varies over time?
Yes,
Teacher.
What do you think is the reason why the moon changes its appearance?
The moon changes its appearance over time because of the orbit of the sun.
Okay, exactly. So, the moon's appearance changes over time due to its orbital motion around the Earth and the angle at which sunlight hits its surface. So, please read.
The moon rotates in its own axis
as does the Earth. Earth also orbits around the sun. In fact, it takes the same amount of time to rotate as it does to orbit the Earth once. As a result, we see many different phases of the moon depending on where the sun, Earth, and moon are positioned.
Okay, so what do you call those various shapes of the moon that we see in the sky?
Those are the phases of the moon, teacher.
Exactly. So, based on our activity earlier, what are those phases of the moon?
New moon, waxing crescent,
Full moon,
first
Yes.
quarter, last quarter, one gibbous, one crescent.
Okay, very good. So, now, let's discuss first the first phase. What do you think is the first phase?
full moon, new moon.
Okay, very good. So, do you have any idea what is a new moon? Yes, or no?
A new moon is the moon is when between the earth and the sun.
Okay, so a new moon is the moon's unilluminated side is facing the earth. This makes the new moon barely visible. This phase occurs when the sun, earth, and the moon are aligned, with the moon positioned between the sun and the earth. So, in this phase, we cannot see the moon because the sun shines on the side of the moon, which is away from the sun. Do you understand what a new moon is?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed to the second phase. What do you think is the second phase?
Waxing crescent, teacher.
Okay, so do you have any idea what is a waxing crescent? Yes?
So waxing crescent moon is a tiny silver of a moon that's getting bigger each day.
Okay, so what happened to the moon in this phase?
You see tiny edge of the moonlight picture.
Okay, exactly. So can you read?
The moon now reflects some of the sun's light and becomes visible again. Less than half of the moon is illuminated. It is occur after new moon.
Okay, so the moon appears to be growing and it is in the midst of waxing phase, wherein the moon started to take on a semicircle shape. Am I being understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed to the third phase. What do you think is the third phase of the moon?
First quarter, teacher.
Exactly. So what do you have any idea what is the first quarter? Yes.
A first quarter moon looks like a half of a circle. It looks someone took around moon and kept it in half.
Okay, exactly. So kindly read.
This moon phase is visible when the moon reaches the first quarter of its orbit around the Earth. One half of the moon appears to be illuminated.
So in this phase, we can see half of the moon illuminated side about a week after a new moon. So do you have any idea why we can see half of the moon illuminated side about a week after a new moon? Okay, so we can see half of the moon illuminated side about a week after a new moon because of the changing angle of the sun, earth, and moon as the moon orbits the sun. Am I being understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed to the fourth phase of the moon. What do you think is the fourth phase of the moon?
Waxing gibbons, teacher.
Okay, so do you have any idea what is a waxing gibbons?
It is a moon. It is more than half of full moon.
Okay, very good. So, kindly read.
The visibility of the moon is getting bigger. More than half of the moon is now illuminated, but what we can see is still smaller than a full moon.
Okay, so in this phase, more than half of the moon is visible in the sky. Am I being understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so what are those phases of the moon that we've already discussed?
New moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, and the waxing gibbous.
Okay, so do you have any questions about it?
None, teacher.
Okay, very good. So now let's proceed to the fifth phase of the moon. What do you think it is?
The full moon, teacher.
Okay, so do you have any idea what is a full moon? Yes?
A full moon is when the whole moon is lit up and looks like a big circle.
Okay, so what will happen in this phase?
You can see the full lighted side of the moon, teacher.
Okay, exactly. So the moon's illuminated side is facing Earth. This means the moon appears to be completely illuminated by the sunlight. It occurs when the moon is the opposite side of the Earth than the sun. So a week after the first quarter moon, when the Earth is between the moon and the sun, throughout this phase, the full moon appears in the sky as a perfect circle. Am I being understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed to the sixth phase. What do you think it is?
Waning gibbous, teacher.
Okay, so do you have any idea what is a waning gibbous?
So one gibbous is almost full, but getting smaller each day.
Okay, very good. So kindly read.
This phase occurs after the full moon. The size of the moon that is visible begins to decrease. The moon appears to be more than one half illuminated, but not fully illuminated by direct sunlight.
Okay, so in this phase, it occurs when the lighted part of the moon becomes smaller. Do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next phase. What do you think it is?
Last quarter moon, teacher.
Okay, so you're absolutely right. So what do you think is the last quarter? Yes.
A last quarter moon looks like a half circle, but it's opposite half from the first quarter moon.
Okay, very good. So, last quarter, in this phase of the moon, is the opposite view of the first quarter moon. One half of the moon appears to be illuminated by direct sunlight. So, in this phase, the half-lighted part of the moon can be seen again on the third week of the month. The moon soon disappears, only then can it be replaced by another new moon. Do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. So now let's proceed to the last phase of the moon. What do you think it is?
It is waning crescent, teacher.
Okay, so do you have any idea what is that?
A 1% moon is a tiny silver of a moon that getting smaller each day.
Okay, very good. Can they read?
This is the last phase of the moon before the cycle repeats. Less than one half of the moon is illuminated by direct sunlight. It appears in the sky almost like a shape of a fingernail.
Okay, so in this phase, most of the moon is visible in the sky but decreasing every night. Am I being understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so again, what are those 8 phases of the moon?
New moon, waxing
Crescent, first quarter moon,
waxing gibbous,
full moon,
waning gibbous,
last quarter moon, and waning
Okay,
crescent.
so do you have any questions?
None so far, teacher.
Okay, if none, let's have a recap. Again, what is our lesson for today?
it's all about phases of the moon.
Okay, so again, what is a moon?
Moon is not a planet but a satellite picture.
Okay, very good. Again, what is satellite?
It is an opaque object that orbit a planet.
Okay, correct. So moon doesn't have its own light source, right?
Yes,
So
teacher.
where did the moon get its light?
The moon gets light from the sun.
From the sun.
Exactly. So moon shapes changes over time in the skies because of what?
The moon's appearance changes over time because of its orbit around the Earth.
Okay, very good. So the various shape of the moon is referred to as what?
So a basis, teacher.
You're right. So how many phases of the moon have we discussed?
8, teacher.
Okay, very good. So can you name all the 8 phases of the moon?
New moon, waxing crescent,
Full moon,
first quarter moon,
waning crescent,
waning gibbous teacher, waxing gibbous of last quarter moon.
Okay, very good. So how does the moon help humans throughout history? Yes?
People used to look at the moon's phases to know what time of the month it was, like a giant calendar in the sky.
Okay, very good. Any other idea?
Sailors used moon to figure out where they were, especially when they were far from the land.
Okay, very good. So the moon has been a helpful friend to humans for a long time, guiding us, inspiring us, and even helping us explore the universe. Do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now that you understand our lesson, have an activity. Please read.
I will group the class into 5 groups, and what you need to do is to arrange the phases of the moon to their correct sequence.
Okay. Okay, so can you name the
New moon.
okay, so every moon.
New moon.
Next.
This is new moon.
Next.
Waxing crescent.
Next. It's a
First quarter. Waxing Venus.
yes.
Full moon. One indigo's. Last quarter and waxing crescent.
Okay, how about you?
New moon, one in crescent, waxing crescent.
Okay, so first is the new moon. Next is the waxing crescent.
Waxing crescent, then
First quarter.
then one in gibbous, full moon, waxing gibbous, and then last quarter moon, and was one in crescent.
Okay, very good. So let's have another activity. Can you play?
Match the correct letter. Write your answer on a 1/4 sheet of paper.
Okay, so are you done?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So let's check. So number 1, a moon looks like a half circle.
First quarter, teacher.
Okay, very good. Number 2, the moon is between the earth and the sun.
New moon, teacher.
Okay, so number 3, the whole moon is split up.
Full moon, teacher.
Okay, number 4, can we read?
Tiny silver of
Sliver of moon that getting smaller each day.
It
One
will-
in crescent, teacher.
Okay, very good. So number 5, moon is more than half full.
One indigo's, teacher.
So number 6, opposite half of the first quarter moon is.
Last quarter, teacher.
Okay, very good. So tiny sliver of a moon that's getting bigger each day.
Waxing crescent, teacher.
Okay, and the last one is moon is almost full.
Waxing gibbous, teacher.
Okay, very good. So that's 2. What is the significance of the moon to mankind? So are you guys done?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let's have your assignment. Please read.
Draw each face of the moon in a bond paper.
Okay, so write this. Okay, so do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye and thank you,